Hi, I'm Mark with Macroscopic Solutions, and we're back for the third tutorial video about the Macropod Pro 3D, which is where we show you how to gather the data, assemble the data in order to build and construct an accurate 3D model of your specimens. So before we showed you how to set up your system. In the second tutorial video, we showed you how to capture the imagery which is going to go into the model, and in this tutorial video I'm going to be showing you the next step in terms of focus stacking and separating out all of the data and the images that we've captured since the second tutorial video. So here we go. And so after we captured all the data, what I had done is I went home for the evening, left everything running on the camera, the Macropod, and then came back in the next day. And then I made sure to shut off the flash, shut off the camera, shut off the stack shot, and now we should have a selection of photographs in our active 3D folder, which is the folder we directed the images to go in the last tutorial, which is here. So this was the video tutorial B. You can see this folder here, and now it is filled with all of the images, which we now need to separate out. Now, there are two ways to do this. There's a tedious way to do this, and there's a very fast way to do this. You can do this, use the fast method on both Mac and PC, but in this tutorial video I'm going to speak specifically to Mac. First thing I want to do is just show you how to do it the tedious way as well. So I'm going to open this folder again, just a second one. And the way we can do this, if you remember, I had this subset of folders from 0 to 360 in 5-degree intervals, because that's the parameters we use to capture the data. I'm just going to create a new folder that just says final. And I'm going to drag all of those folders in there so they're not overlapped with the photographs we took here. So let me just drag these to final. And there we go. So now I have all my photographs here. And then what I want to do is go back to the same folder in another screen and click on the final folder page. So the tedious method would be to go through. If you remember, we captured 35 steps. So 35 steps means that the camera captured a picture, and then the motor stepped, and then it captured another picture, and it did that 35 times. So 35 steps doesn't equate to 35 pictures. In the end, you're always going to have one extra picture over top the amount of steps you program into the stack shot. So because we captured 35 individual steps, we're going to end up with 36 individual pictures that we want to separate out in different folders. So the first way to do this would be to just sort of expand these two windows. And what you want to do is you want to try to highlight 36. So that's 49. We'll just kind of go, so there's the 36, 35, this is 36. So this is going to be your cutoff. And you can double check. You can see the window over here. If I just went to 39, you can see how the focal plane changes, and that's because it was reset after a small 5-degree rotation. So what you want to start doing is now taking these photographs, and what you can do is just take the window right up to the bottom of that 36, and you just want to start dragging and dropping into separate folders. So 0, then highlight these. We know that this is 36 images again, so we'll just keep doing that to 5, and so forth. Now that's one method of doing it. It's time consuming. It's not the method that we recommend. So what I'd like to do is put those images back in the folder and show you a much faster way to do this. I'm going to close that window, and what we're going to do is use terminal. Now, the first thing we have to do is actually navigate to this directory in terminal, and not all Macs are pre-configured to do that. So first we need to go into System Preferences and Settings, and then you want to go to the keyboard icon, so click on Keyboard, and then you want to go to your Shortcuts function, Services, and you want to scroll down until you see this. So Files and Folders, open that one, and then New Terminal at Folder. You want to check that. And what that does is when you right-click a folder, for example, right here, I can now go to New Terminal at Folder, and I can open up Terminal, and it's already open to the directory that I need. You can see 170508, which is the folder that was created on the date at which these images were captured. Now what I can do is I can plug in a command to separate these out on basically by 36 images. So I'm going to be placing the code that you need in the description of this tutorial video. It's down below, and the instructions will also be included. But in this case, I also just have a little Word file, which I'm just going to open. This will also be shared on our website, but this gives you the instructions as well as the code that you need. So basically, there's a lot of instructions here on this page, but all you need is this section. So I equals 0, 4f, in, asterisk, and so forth all the way through. And the number you want to be separating out, you can see I've already changed this. Because we're separating it out on 36 images, I'm going to input 36 right here. So right there where I / 36 plus 1. Now, let's say you didn't take, let's say you didn't set up your parameters to take 35 steps, which equates to 36 images. Let's say you had it taking 65 steps, which is going to equate to 66 images. So you would input 66 here, and now it's going to separate out new folders every 66 images. But we didn't do that. We used 35, so we're going to place 36. And all you want to do is you want to copy that code. So Command-C on a Mac, go right over to your terminal, and the second you paste this command, it's going to apply the function. So you want to make sure that if you make a mistake or anything like that, maybe you have these images copied, because you're going to have to separate them back out if you forget to change the number. So I'm just going to hit Command-V. Now it's going to go through, and now what it's going to start doing is it's going to create new directories, and it's going to separate out all of these photographs in directories from basically 1 is going to be your 0 degrees, 2 is 5 degrees, 3 is 10 degrees, and so on. So now I can see all these images are being created. If I click on 001, now I have a subgroup of photographs, and it's separated out exactly by 36. So you see if I move it, there's the 36, and then I can just verify the break by going to preview and just scrolling through the subset of images to make sure that this bead did not rotate on us, that this is in fact the images that we want. And you can see the entire focal plane goes right through that B. And what I'll do now is go to directory 2 and open up these photographs just to verify that all these images are associated with the same. And you can see that we've reset, and now we're scrolling all the way through again, and it did perform as functioned. So that's perfect. Okay, so now that all of our images are separated out using the fast way, you can close terminal, close your Word program, if that's the file you used. In order for terminal to use that function. And now what you want to do is open up your Zerene Stacker program. And instead of having to go through and stack each individual image, Zerene Stacker has a batch process that's built in, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So once Zerene Stacker is open, you want to click on Batch and Show Batch Dialog. So now we want to add projects or folders. We want to navigate to the folder that was created, so Desktop, Active 3D, and now we want to go down to the Video Tutorial B. Double click that, double click on 1705, and you have all of our directories which were just created and separated out for us. Just want to highlight all of these, and you want to add them. So now all of those directories are now under Projects and Image folders. Now you want to stack these photographs. So you want to add 2 tasks. First is align and stacking all of them using Pmax, and the next is to align all frames. So typically these are aligned automatically. You can see the align and stack. I just check this anyways. I don't know why, you don't have to, but I do out of habit. So now I'm just going to press OK, and now I have my stacking tasks all set up. And now what I'm going to do is I can either save the output images in source folders, or I can save a step by saving in a designated folder, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go back to Desktop, back to Active 3D, back to the Video Tutorial B. And because I already created this final, typically I would have a folder here called Final, but I'm just going to use that Final folder. Oops, go back one. You just have to click on Final and click Select. Because I didn't use the 0 to 360 folder templates this time, these are all empty. I'm just going to get rid of these, and now this final folder is where all of my final output stacked photographs are going to be. So at the end we're going to have 72 final output photographs situated right here in this window. Okay, so that's set up. And typically, Zerene Stacker has kind of a little bit of a bug in it in this part. So if you highlight all these and you go to hit Save Batch, you'll get a warning: changes to disposition of output images were discarded because they were never applied. That's just because I wasn't able to apply it yet. But if I hit OK, go back to this, and then go back to Save in Designated Folder, and go to Choose again and click Final, and then Select. Now it'll let me apply. So what I'll do is highlight all these once more, apply to selected tasks, save batch, and we should be good to go. So you just highlight it, make sure all of your folders are here, make sure your tasks are here, which is align, stack, and align, and then you want to save it in, make sure the directory is the final folder, which is the one we just created. And you're all set up and ready to go. So now what we can do is run all batches. You can move this window, you can minimize Zerene Stacker while it's doing this, but this is a fairly quick task. This computer is running 32 gigabytes of RAM, so it's going to produce a final output image just about every 3 minutes or so, which means that I'm going to have all my data within 1 to 2 hours. So this is going through. We've already stacked 3 photographs here, and we're going to let this run until all of the final photographs are saved in a directory. And that is all there is to the third tutorial video. So we're going to let this run, and in the next tutorial video we're going to take all the final images, and then I'm going to start to produce the 3D model using Agisoft Photoscan. I'm going to walk you through that workflow. I just want to thank you for watching this video, and if there's anything I didn't address, or if you have more questions, please feel free to just ask the question in the comment section below, and I'll respond to your comment as quickly as I can. Just to help you through whatever task you need. Anyways, that's the third tutorial video. Stay tuned for the next one, which is where we begin to build our 3D model. Alright, thank you. Bye.